Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. I think we're just going to be tackling to-do list items today. Adam wants to get through random to-do items today. Pretty much whatever he feels like working on for Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. Do we have a Steam page yet? No. Well, someday. Someday we'll get there. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Let me take a look at this. Hey, Sinestella. More to-do terminating. That is right. Yeah, so I had some tasks yesterday that I never actually completed. So let's get these things off of the list. Just move this stuff all to Thursday. All right, when you go to quit the game, it should say how many minutes has passed. We started this on add unsaved quit dialog. I don't have any changes here right now. All right, so we're just waiting for this to load. Just debating. It says it worked for an hour and 30 minutes. I must not have advanced this or something. Whatever, I'll just do this. Local checkout. All right, so merge this. Let's go take a look at the code. I imagine this is pretty straightforward. Debug unsaves, release unsaves, so 3 minutes and 5 minutes. Let's do this. Cancel quit, confirm quit. I like that confirmation to be in its own file. Because this file, well, it's not super long. But I will probably have it reconfigure this. Quit confirmation, center container, etc. Unsaved play seconds. So this is done in wall clock milliseconds, basically. Takes msec as a function. Oh, so that some test can check this out? Yeah, so this is in time. So we cannot just speed up time for this. And these are in integer minutes. Okay, well, let's set it to 1, I guess, and let's just try this out. Oh, sorry. I don't know if that was super loud, but I accidentally dropped my controller while I was on the desk already, so it just smashed against it. All right, so we got to start a stopwatch after I'll just launch a new game, basically. And then we start a stopwatch. Start. And we wait for that to hit a minute. While that's happening, let's go and change this around. So move the quick confirmation scene tree and code to its own set of files. That way it doesn't pollute pause menu.tscn and pause menu.cs as much. Yeah, this does not need to be on extra high. It could just be on high. Okay. All right, how are we doing on time? 41 seconds, 42. Yeah, so we got to wait a little bit longer. It's fine. So, yeah, imagine we're playing this and we're like, okay, you know what? I got to go do something else. Let's quit. This is where, once this thing hits a minute, it will tell us, like, you have some unsaved data. Blub, happy 145 streams. Hello, hello. Hey, Remy. Hey, Pickle. Good morning, everybody. All right, so I'm going to wait just a tiny bit longer just in case something got, like, paused or whatever. But, yeah, now when we go to quit, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want to see. Oh, man. Why does this have to happen? So what should that say? Pause, menu, unsaved. And it's got minutes there. Okay, yeah. So as soon as we get the strings for this, should be fine. You silly goose. Maybe I was programmed to be a silly goose. All right, anyway, the feature works. That's good. Yeah, we needed to fix the localization stuff. Fix localization. The messages don't actually exist anywhere. Yeah. All right, this is working. So let's say add quit confirmation. When enough minutes have passed without auto saving. Oh, I see how this works. Okay, yeah, it will ask if you're sure whether you want to quit. Yeah, we set this back to 15, which it might override at some point. All right, I think we're good there. All right, so let's look through the rest of these tasks and figure out what it is I actually want to do. We got to look at this. This is for some of the changes we had there. Maybe try designing by prototyping. If this is fruitful, we need to pursue this more often. I'm guessing that the kind of brokenness I'm going for isn't something I can plan. Yeah, I think there's a question of how much did it help to make that really terrible game yesterday with the platformer mechanics? Because did it lead to some brainstorming? Was it totally pointless? Is it even possible to tell? Like, let's say I gave some, I don't know, like a junior programmer, I'm like, hey, here's some assets, go make a game. And they make a game, but they don't really know what they're doing, and they mess up in a bunch of ways. The ways that they mess up could inspire some ideas because we're making a broken game. And AI will very frequently mess up. But the part that's kind of questionable to me is like, I don't want to use AI for game design, but AI makes broken stuff very easily. And this is a game about broken games. So like, is it good or bad to use AI to spark ideas? And if it's fine, why not just ask it directly? I don't want to ask it directly. I want to get better at this stuff myself. So I think I'm just going to delete these notes. Yeah. So yeah, the reasons I don't want to use it, one, I want to be able to say at the end of this that the creative stuff, the bulk of the creative stuff is done by humans. And that, yeah, sure, the grunt work is done by AI. And two is I do want to get better at game design myself. With that said, I think that second part, like I would probably get better by asking AI, like, okay, here's some ideas I have. What do you think? So my general stance has been for this game, don't use AI for game design. And then maybe for the next game, like see if I can ratchet up some ideas by doing this. Honestly, here's the other component of this is I think chat used to be more active when I would do game design days on Skeleseller. So I would end up with some more ideas. And I think chat was even more active during the botland days. In fact, I think that was not as fruitful just because there were so many voices involved sometimes. And I mean, when you ask general people for game design input, it's not necessarily uh, super helpful or on point. If it gets you an edge, it makes you learn faster. Why not coconut? Yeah, like I said, it's the ability to say at the end of this that, like, okay, well, game design was done by a human. Because one of the things I kind of worry about is, I guess it's the exact same reason why I'm not going to go play these other games that people have talked about. Like, there is no game. I know this exists. I have not gone and bought this. I haven't gone and played this. I haven't watched videos about it because I don't want to see what they did that might poison my opinion here. Yeah. How much are they charging for this, by the way? $13. Man, this was back in 2020, though, back when you could charge $13. All right. Well, let's file some of these then. So I'll put this over here and do one of these and one of these. Pick one of three. This is in the whole, like, you can pick a bunch of something. Ideas, specific mechanics. All right. This is more of a joke idea, I guess. Okay, probably do need a game replay sidekick. I've figured that out. I think this is all fine. It'd be very fun. When a player says the name sidekick, they snap out of it. Names have power. You know sidekick. Do you deliver FPS drops? Yeah, we can do this. Hey, David. Welcome in. All right, nice. So this is all pretty much done. Okay, there's something else I wanted to write down about this, though. Where was it? Oh, yeah, the sidekick stuff. I think it's already in here. Just got to make sure it's settled. Didn't they remade it and release it on Steam? I only knew the ancient browser game. Oh, there was an ancient browser game. Okay, maybe that's why they were able to charge as much as they did. But yeah, people were telling me about that game. This happened a lot with Skeleseller too. People are like, "Oh, have you played Reciteer? Have you played, I don't know, like I forgot what the game was called. Darn it, I can picture it, but I can't remember the name. But yeah, I was like, nope, I didn't. I'm not going to. I want to just come up with ideas myself, and I think it leads to some uniqueness here. You know, a lot of complaints I see in the more tech-focused parts of the internet are that everything has homogenized. You look at web design and it's all the same, and it's the same like styles and same templates, and then people look at old games that did UI differently or interestingly, and they're like, well, we missed those sorts of things. And like, I don't think everybody misses it, but yeah, I want there to be some flair of uniqueness. Okay, so what is this? Sidekick. Yeah, here it is. I said this thing. Lore reason, names have power, and sidekick would forget who they are. Well, who he is. Okay, cool. That's written down. Let's. Where is. Yes, this is another problem with vertical tabs that I find really difficult. If you have this thing collapsed, it's really hard to move this tab out of here because there's a very tiny border around the X. So, what, could you drag by the X? No, you can't. Yeah. So, like, to drag a tab out of here and into another window is really, really tough. Oh, maybe you can drag the whole window. No, you can't. You have to do it like this. Or you could expand this first, I guess. Oh, maybe you can drag by the X if you do this. Sorry, I want to test this. No, you cannot. All right. Yeah. So it's just tedious. Oh, hey, it got that translation in here. Oh, nice. Okay, good. All right, so this should have cut a lot of code out of these files. Let's take a look. Yep, I think this is fine. Pause menu just has a quick confirmation. Looks good. And what is it complaining about? Typo? I don't care. Unsafe play seconds is in save slots service. I think that's okay. Yeah. All right, this is for the test. This is for all that stuff. Now we just look at these files. Looks good. Looks good. Should confirm quit. Oh, I see. Wait. Should confirm quit. It's not really the confirm button. Huh. Hey, Goose. Happy 3 streams, David. Yeah, I don't think this is properly named, but like I said, I'm not going to be too picky about this stuff. So the only thing I still need to look at is quit confirmation, which I will do this later. All right, so that's done. Let's go back over to here now. Merge this. Git switch main, git merge that. Cool. Done with this. And now we got to take a look at this one. Well, this is technically better. This should thankfully be very easy to test. So as soon as this loads, we can go try it out and just see if it fixed basically every problem that we had. So work tree checkout. All right, merge this. Let's go try it. Wait a second, what? I did not know you could do that. Hold on. You can call advance on the animation tree to force it to get the right state. Wow. Wow. Why did try shooting on next frame exist though? I should probably write this down somewhere. And if this fixes it, which it might, write notes about animation tree and how advance can fix sync issues between the animation player. It's technically the animation player, isn't it? Where is this? No, it's the animation tree. That's weird. Advance the animations by specified time. Okay, yeah. I guess because there's an underlying animation player. Because how does that make sense from TODO animation tree? How does this make sense from an animation perspective? What does a tree have with animation player? This is the most flexible systems. We're starting. It does not contain its own animations. Yes. Okay, good. Yeah. So underlying animation tree. So we got to write that down. Between the underlying animation player and the game. For example, I was setting muzzle positions based on where a character was standing. I'll fill that in later. I want to see if this works. So we're going to go into top-down shooter. We're going to do this. And we're going to just shoot a bunch, and none of this should ever look wrong. Yeah, I don't see anything unusual, whereas we used to before this. Wow, what a great fix. I did not know it would be that easy. Yeah, none of these ever look weird, right? Now, the real question, which I don't know if I can even see with my own eyes right now, is did we fix the other problem about two-frame shooting? So we're just going to go frame by frame here. Come on. This is loading now. Come on. Aw, man. How am I supposed to go frame by frame if the video won't load? Yes, it does look like it's working just fine. So bullets get created. If you look right here, a bullet gets created, and on the next frame, it's already moving. This was not the case before this. Hey, Faceless. It's a little bit harder to tell when you're moving as well because the relative positions stay pretty much the same. It's also a little weird that they look like they don't move as fast at first and then they get faster. There was one other thing I wanted to look at here. Oh yeah, why did we add try shooting on next frame in the first place? Okay, now my gut says go and just look at the code, but I think the more modern way of doing this is just ask AI about it. But let's start by looking at the code. So we just click this, press B, click this. Oh my God, wait a second. It was listed right there. The muzzle position is set from the animation, which doesn't take effect until the new animation plays. Yeah. This is really stupid. I didn't realize you could just call it advance and force it to set the muzzle position. Okay, so this bypasses or like obviates this code. Hooey. This is quite the realization here. So we probably have this pattern elsewhere and we don't need it now. This is such a great fix. And what do we do over here? We got rid of one frame of this. This is stupid. Yeah, this is stupid. So let's see if we can just search the whole code for this. It's not going to be the most fun because some of these are probably necessary. Open and find window. How many do we have? 7? Okay, that's not too bad. It's not going to take us long to look through this. This one's totally fine. This is very likely fine. Positioning code is still needed. This, I'm not sure, but it's not an animation tree. And this is for what? Positioning, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay, it's all fine. Hey, Sound. A few other streamers I watch strongly avoid it. I get that. I think we're in a transition time, and I think there are two transitions happening whenever there is something like this going on. There's the societal transition, and then there's the personal transition. So it's like, how do people react to AI products? How do people think about those who use AI? And then the personal transition is like, how is this affecting my workflow? How am I impacted by the perception of others? I mean, it's kind of the societal transition as well. But both of these can be difficult. It's like, imagine if all of a sudden, I don't know, like, yeah, my examples are a little extreme that I'm about to say, and I want to keep this family friendly. But I guess imagine like a car is getting created for the first time. There's probably some purism around like, we weren't meant to do this. We should just be on horses. Like, what are you going to do about all the people who have horse related jobs or something? Like, those are the societal parts of this. The personal parts of it are like, okay, could I afford it? Like, what's this doing for me? What's my impact on the world? And yeah, I'm not trying to say that anyone's right or wrong about this. It's all just opinions. For me in particular, I've now seen how it's impacted my ability to be productive, and it feels good to make such fast progress, and especially on things I don't want to do. So I talked about this before, but I did not talk about it in this light ever, which is that I now have a sort of direct comparison between Skeleseller and this game in one feature, and it is control rebinding. So practically every game needs control rebinding or could benefit from control rebinding, right? So it's a matter of like, okay, how do you do this? What kind of features do you allow? And for Skeleseller, it took us longer overall, and I don't think it ended up being as good as this is. And yeah, this took like a day and a half of work, and it works great, and it works with keyboard and controller and mouse, and there's like slightly nicer UI, not the looks of the UI. The looks are plain and bland, right? We have gray and white. But yeah, in terms of like how usable this is, I can on my controller go to, let's say, this auxiliary action and add a new binding and press it. It works how I expect. I can remove it. I can reset it. Oh, this is the reset. I was like, why isn't that working? It's not proving my point. We've got sounds on all this stuff, but not that I have them playing right now. Yeah, you can switch to keyboard bindings and do the same thing. We have these controller glyphs. It's like, this is the closest to a one-to-one mapping that I could get between the two to compare. Because a lot of other things, it's like, okay, let's say I go make a platformer sub game for this. It's like, I didn't do that for Skeleseller. So yeah, I might have been able to say, well, I think this game would have taken me 5 days and it took me 3 days. But I don't know for sure. But with controller binding, it's pretty much one-to-one. And I guess like the build tooling and everything too. Anyway, software. Population of horses substantially dropped after that. Well, it's just also like horse owners. How many horse owners have you known in your life? It's like, if it were the year 1900, I assume you'd know some horse owners. And like, I have known some, but they're not very common to own. Hey, Stockton, hockey masks are a great example. Can you go into more detail there? I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, PWS. Yeah, no, I know your YouTube name. Yeah. Dropping by to say hi. This discussion sounds interesting. Yeah, well, hi. And yeah, there's been a lot of talk. I mean, really, a lot of talk on all of the internet about AI and how it's going. And I generally see a very vocal sentiment against it in a lot of communities, which I find a little perplexing because I suspect all these people who have the negative sentiment are also using AI to some extent. Anyway, this is fantastic. It looks like all of the places in the code where we had this are fine. I am super happy to have discovered this and to have fixed both bugs. So fixed 2 bugs in the top-down shooter. One was if you moved and fired rapidly enough, bullets would come out of a stale muzzle position. And 2 is that bullets wouldn't start... Wait a second. Bullets wouldn't start moving for 2 frames, but this is just try shooting. Try shooting is what got delayed. Try shooting hasn't changed. Oh God, this thing stopped working. I hate when this happens. Something here actually creates the bullet. Yeah, it's this. That part doesn't make sense to me. How would this have fixed this? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. I don't think this was ever correct. Yeah, I don't get how this would have happened before. I don't have an explanation for this yet. What I think was happening, because I remember watching the video frame by frame yesterday, is a bullet would get created and then stay there for like a frame. But we create bullets the same way. As long as we call create bullet, it'll get added to the scene. Where does it get added? Here? Where does it get added? Oh, create a bullet. Okay, so this probably adds it. Yeah, right there. Okay, so this adds it, and then we move it immediately. Oh my god, I'm so annoyed by this thing. Okay, process. I guess we just give it velocity, right? Which would probably happen from here. Yeah, apply impulse. I don't think this would have affected this. Yeah, strange. I don't know if I fixed this. Hey Kyle, hey Banana. Welcome in everybody. You used to play hockey without masks, and when they were first introduced, not even officially, just one to a few guys using them, it was seen as weak or cowardly. Now it's the standard, no questions asked. Yeah, yeah. And part of this is just a knowledge problem. Like, if I can't say this for sure because I don't know that this is totally true, but I don't think there was all the same knowledge there is about concussions and CTE and in American football, for example. So I think there have been a lot of rule changes around that where it's like, I think most people don't want like lasting brain damage for their lives or for their athletes to get that just so they have a more sort of raw sport. So yeah, I don't know how much pushback there's around that now, but like I think it just took spreading some knowledge for that. Marketing. It markets itself as artificial intelligence, yet has little to no creativity. Glorified next word predictor. Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. I don't think that's the only pushback though. I think a lot of the pushback is resource usage, putting people out of jobs, and quality, I guess, to some extent. Those are the main things I see. Yeah. All right, so I don't understand this part. I don't think we actually changed this right now, but I don't want to go back and look at yesterday's VOD and try to figure out what I did. I mean, I guess what we could do is just push this and or stash push this and maybe then take a look. So let's do that. Stash push. Yeah, this shouldn't take too long to verify. There's like a minute delay in YouTube. Oh man. Yeah. I'll say graphite. Okay, let's see if we can see it here. So this is going to have both bugs again, which is not obvious unless I do this, I guess. Yeah, so you can see the positioning bug probably. I can feel it here, but I rotate fast enough and it's using a stale muzzle position. So that I knew that is fixed. I totally understand it. The thing I'm not even sure is present is it used to wait a frame before shooting a bullet. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah, okay, here. Okay, so we can definitely see this. So take a look. It creates a bullet. Then the next frame, this doesn't move. So you can see here the character moves, but this thing stays totally stationary. I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, very bizarre. No, wait, it doesn't always happen. Is this the difference between frame rate and physics process? Because I think they're both set to 60 FPS. Project settings, tick is set to 60, yeah. And this monitor is capped at 60. I think. I can't recall now. I think it's a 60 hertz monitor. If it's not, then that could explain the difference and there wouldn't really be a problem. Although then I also wouldn't have changed anything here. So I would have seen that bullets would still get stuck in the same way that they used to. Strange. I am not totally sure. Okay, how about this? Let's pop this again and let's go take a look at a video one last time. What happened? Aborted. Please commit your changes. Oh, right. Title screen is because I have this open, don't I? Yeah, whoops. Okay. I didn't mean for that. Let's just revert that. There. Okay, great. Because yeah, I don't feel anything going wrong here. All right, so I'm just gonna take a bunch of this just so I can load it up in the YouTube video quickly. This is good. Great. Okay, now we gotta go find YouTube. All right, now we'll go frame by frame. There are frames where nothing happens. I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's the game. But it's never just that a bullet doesn't move. It's that, no, is it YouTube? Let's just back up and see. Yeah, like here. I'm going between two frames, but it looks like nothing's happening. This could be anything, though. Oh, man, it's too hard to figure it out. Personally feel it's amazing how far we've come since last year. AI coding's gotten really good. Yeah. Yeah, I find it kind of crazy how my workflow has changed in just a few months. Argument was that it consumed a lot of water. Don't know anything on the topic, but it doesn't sound like a big deal since I assume it's just for coding. I think the argument is about how data centers are consuming a lot of water, not that like someone running a model locally is causing water consumption to go through the roof. I'm not sure if that person gave you that context. But yeah, at least in the US, data centers are generally one, resource hogs, and two, don't get like elevated electricity rates in the area and then start pumping up electricity rates for everybody else. I don't know how that changes water rates, but generally I've heard it about electricity before this. All right, well, anyway, I don't know if we fixed a different problem here or not. It's really hard to tell. I guess the other thing we could potentially try is there's some movie mode over here. How do you use this? Enable movie maker mode. Yeah, let's turn this on and just see what happens. It's enabled, but no movie file path has been specified. A default path can be specified under this. Alternatively, for running single scenes. So what, I can't do anything? I gotta change this? Movie file, yeah, here. Whatever, I don't care. I don't care where this goes. Yeah, testeroni.avi. Sure, whatever. Save. Okay, hit play. So now it's going to record a video without involving the internet. And that's what I want to see here. Is there any difference? Although really I would need to compare them both. Oh, this is very laggy. I guess I'll just bounce back and forth here and see. Okay, there. That's good enough. Quit. So did it make the video? Do I have to stop this? Oh, come on. Where'd it go? I said to save it to game/testeroni. Oh, I'm not in the game folder. There it is. Okay. My bad. My bad. Let's load this up now. And then go over to here. Oh, nice. It loads at 60 FPS. No, we do have this problem still. Yeah, you can see bullets are just standing there for like a frame. Yeah. Why would that happen? Huh. I did not just know. Did you see it? Why would this happen? So we still have the problem where a bullet is oh, wait a second. Whoa, no, never mind. I was gonna say I thought I understood, but I don't think I understand still. We create a bullet and then it doesn't move until 2 frames later. Yeah. It's growing. It's going pretty well. I'm very happy it's a half day of streaming today. I think there have been some problems in how I've been pursuing work lately. Like, I've been doing a lot of work off stream. Well, I say a lot of problems. I think the only real problem is it's like it's taking away from the stream time and energy. But it's like it's great for the game. It almost makes me wonder, should I even still be streaming like as much as I am, or just maybe around now? Like I'm not game dev is so many things, but part of the game development is actually like making game features. This isn't supposed to be happening right now. I consider myself to be in stabilization mode, and we're doing things like make the Steam page and set up merch and I don't know, like add controller glyphs to the game and whatever else. And they're not like fun, oh, go make this new game, go make a new fun system. It's like kind of sucky tasks. And some of these are really hard to do on stream. Like I have to set up my email so that I have adam@xtonomous.com. I could maybe do this on stream, but I think it's a really, really bad idea. So yeah, I'm just not going to do that on stream. And now this is a task that's hanging over me that I just keep thinking like, man, I really got to carve out some time to go do this. I haven't done it yet. Like 4 functions doing the same thing. Spend about the same time reviewing that code and writing it myself. I think it is so drastically sped up what I've done. I do feel like you're spending more time reviewing than you would have prior because you wouldn't need to review your own code as much. But yeah, it's sometimes more complete than I would have been, or correct. Sometimes it is worse, and I just have to reprompt it. It's just. So what is responsible for this? I can just go take a look at this. I guess I need to restart the IDE. So let me copy this before I lose it. Restart. Yes. All right. Yeah, so I just want to answer this question of why is the bullet impulse not being applied when I think it is. Try shooting. Whoops. Oh yeah, just close the dialogue I'm trying to type into. Okay, try shooting. Here we go. So we call create bullet. Create bullet has apply impulse right here. This is before it's entered the scene tree. Maybe that matters. Maybe if I just put this here, it'll work. Problem is testing this is so annoying. So now I got to play this again. All right, go over to this, go over to this. Just start blasting stuff. I can't see it with my own eyes right here, whether it's happening or not. I have to freeze frame it. It'd be nice if I could just see it happening. It would save some time. So today at 9:12 a.m. Yeah, this is it. So let's just close out of that, open this up. All right, now we go frame by frame. No, it's still happening. So it doesn't matter when we call apply impulse. Yeah, the problem, again, just to be clear here, is a bullet gets created. So if you see this one, then I advance this by a frame, and this one stays still, and all these moved farther away. Why is that happening? And yeah, looking at the code, we have this apply impulse here. It's done as soon as we create the bullet. We are instantiating it here. We're applying the impulse here. Why does it wait a frame? Applies a position impulse. An impulse is time independent. Applying an impulse every frame would result in frame rate dependent force. This reason is only used when simulating one-time impact. It's offset from the body origin. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe it's because we position this? No, that doesn't make any sense. We don't do that anyway. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Starts at the next frame. I guess maybe. How would you make something move right off the bat, though? Is this like a known issue, I wonder? Godot apply impulse not working until next frame. Takes 2 frames to apply impulse. No one commented on this? Yeah, I don't see anything about this. I mean, there's just, this doesn't work, but it's working for me. It just takes an extra frame. Yeah, it's not this problem. Okay, let's take a look at one other thing here. Apply impulse extra frame. Not intuitive. Okay. Well, I don't know. All right, so anyway, this is not the problem. What I'm seeing is that apply impulse doesn't seem to take effect on the first frame. Is this just how it works? Is there a known issue about this? There's something I'm doing wrong? All right. We still haven't even broken through the quota usage I've on Luna right now. Okay, well, anyway, we can check this in. Yeah, this we probably shouldn't keep. Well, maybe we could. Yeah, we could keep that. This is just a UID change. So this is where the magic happens. And I just got to check this in, right? Try shooting. Yeah, cool. All right, so fix muzzle position bug in top-down shooter. If you moved and fired rapidly enough, bullets would come out of a stale muzzle position. Yes. Cool. So we check this in. What is this? I want this. That's Cerrone.avi. Let's add that to get ignored. Yeah, sure. Set up movie mode. Oh, I gotta turn it off though. Enable off. Does that save to the project? I don't think so. Yeah, I think it just saves this. That's fine. This is just specifying a movie file. You still need to turn movie mode on in the editor. Also, I get ignored the movie file. It's called testeroni.avi. And then this is fix a UID in the title screen. UID in title screen. Yeah. Yeah, I think the quality has been pretty good. Impulse is applied before the bullet's added to the scene, not the 2-frame animation delay. I'll restore that delay, reproduce it. No, I don't want to do any of this. Don't make code changes. And it doesn't actually have to do with the creation order. I tested that already. Just want to know what's going on. All right. Well, that bug is fixed. We should probably write down how this works. Yeah. And then kick off the next task. All right. Get status. It thinks we changed this. Did I actually change it? I don't care about this. There. Should revert. It's not. Oh, man. Well, what is this commit that it's pointing at? Change wording of resetting a keybind. This is B6923. I actually do want this to be updated because I have it updated locally and I just haven't done anything about this. All right, fine. Update translations commit. So I kind of want to reject this. Yeah, I want to reject this. I don't know how you reject it though. Games, submodules, translations. Its status. It's ahead by 1 commit. And it's on main. And the log is what? CB81, yeah. Oh, this is because I branched off of an older version before I made this change. Okay, fine. Whatever. Update translations submodule. I feel like I'm poisoning the diff history by doing this. But it's a very minor issue. So whatever. Git switch main. We go merge this. Okay, so that bug is solved. Now we just write in the notes about this stuff. Try to figure this out. What is this? Looks like delayed impulse is a combination of physics step timing and physics interpolation. Bullet appears at its spawn transform. Apply physics changes its physics server velocity. It does not immediately change position. Next physics step advances it. Interpolation deliberately renders between the previous and current physics transforms. Oh my God, seriously? I thought I knew everything about physics interpolation. Oh, wow. Wow. I am very glad I asked about this. Wow. Yeah, see, this is one of those places where I just feel like AI just saved me a ton of time. And clearly, Googling didn't help. I knew about this at one point and never needed this until now. Wow. So how exactly do we do this? Set the initial transform and then call reset. Set initial transform, call reset, and then immediately set the transform expected after the first tick of motion. I wonder if we could do this in a generic way. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, look, in this particular game, it's not super obvious. In fact, I never even noticed it until I went frame by frame. So if we start this up and you're just playing the game and you're not really paying close attention, and maybe this isn't super obvious through Twitch or YouTube, but if I go into this and this. So to me, it kind of just looks like we're shooting bullets normally. But the very first frame of the bullet is staying there for a little bit longer. And yeah, I wonder if once we, fix this, it's going to be obviously better looking. Maybe. Yeah, I can't really see it, I think. Yeah, this is why this is so challenging. It's something that I don't know what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so yeah, apply the change from the documentation, but do this on my local branch main, not in a work tree. Also, identify where else in the code we would benefit from this, but don't actually make those changes yet. All right, well, I gotta update my notes in a lot of ways then, so let's go do that. So first is about animation player and animation tree. Process frame. Did I ever write about this? Nope, I did not. All right, so where should we put this? Maybe like syncing start of animation properties with this is probably a stupid header for this, but yeah, what I want to say here is like I ran into an issue where I wanted, so scenario, I had a character that could move in 8 directions. This character has a gun. Depending on where they're facing, the gun would be in a different position, obviously. And I had the animation tree, well, I had the animation player update the gun's muzzle position at the beginning of each animation. Problem I ran into is when rapidly moving and shooting, the bullets would fire from a stale muzzle position. The solution is not to call this. Oh, what? There we go. Instead, we do dot advance. We do this. And this is inside try shooting. Yeah, right before creating a bullet. This forces the animation, the underlying animation player to set any properties that should have already been set. You know, it sounds pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it could potentially even like fix those issues sometimes. I still want to handwrite my notes. Sorry, I want you to manually move the transform to the next expected position, or did I misinterpret that? Yes, it does. It does. So the way that physics interpolation works is at any given point, you have a position where something is. So like this is the start, and this is where its destination is. So start and destination. And physics interpolation is going to smoothly move from where it was to where it's going so that you have frame rate independent motion. And the problem is that on the very first frame, its start is where it already was. So then the next time it's supposed to move, we only move like halfway the way there, I think. Or maybe I'm saying that wrong. Maybe it's like we don't move at all on the first frame, and then on the next frame we move halfway the way to where we want to be. So yeah, we need to like kickstart that physics interpolation. All right, so this is all done. This has been merged, and now it's fixed the issue where bullets don't move immediately. So we got to write something in our physics interpolation node. All right, so troubleshooting. apply impulse seemingly takes a frame before it works. Scenario, I had a character that could shoot bullets. The bullets would get created and then not move until 2 frames had passed. This specific scenario is called out directly on the physics interpolation page, which is here. You simply have to update the transform to what's expected from movement. Well, simply have to update the transform again after calling reset physics interpolation. Yeah. Okay. Okay, apply the document to moving start on local main. After bullet enters, reset its interpolation history. Advance its current transform by 1 physics tick using the known bullet velocity. This makes visible movement begin on the second rendered frame. All right, so let's see what this looks like because it apparently made the change. First, let's just make sure the code is fine. It should be very simple. Reset physics interpolation, global position plus equal bullet velocity, get physics process delta time. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Love it. Then let's see what it looks like in context. So it's going to be hard to compare side by side because I didn't take a video. Okay, yeah. I mean, I do see how it's different. We're not seeing a bullet, freeze there at the beginning. Wow. What a nice change. I never would have seen this if I hadn't gone frame by frame. Yeah, this does look good. I wonder what this looks like in the boss room when you get all these potions. Yeah, that is much better. Wow. Maybe run a bunch of commands, could interpret them well, except in one case. Yeah, it is pretty impressive. It makes it so that there are a lot of things you just don't need to know that you never really cared about in the first place. Like one of the things I always think about as an example for this is I've written a bunch of bash scripts or Z shell scripts over the course of my life, but never frequently enough where I remember how to even write an if statement properly. Because there's a weird syntax for this. Yeah, this like if square bracket dash Z and then some quotation marks, a semicolon afterward, then else phi at the end. Like I just don't write them frequently enough. Looking at this, it's very easy to understand what's going on here, but that's how I would write. That's actually why this file is so large. I would just keep like tacking on, oh, I need a function that does this. I'll look at how I did it somewhere else. It's like, I never really cared about learning how to do this better. I just wanted a particular function at the time. And yeah, now I just don't even need to learn that. There are things that I think it would be bad to bypass the learning for, like things that you actually care about. Like I use C# on a daily basis. If I didn't understand C#, I think there'd be a problem. So like I still want to learn about that. But yeah, bash, maybe if I were a system administrator or something and I was doing it every single day, then I'd care about it more. But yeah, I've never cared about it for my entire career. It's just been a thing that's gotten in the way of me writing functions that I need. Feels pretty redundant. Well, so a lot of the difficulty with any sort of shell scripting, that's difficult to say, is that you have to consider both shell usage and programming usage. So like PowerShell has this problem a lot too, where it's like, oh yeah, you wouldn't want to write it this way, but it's also a shell and it's got to run arbitrary commands. So yeah, same thing with bash scripting. It's like if it were just a programming language, it could be more idiomatic for programming. But if it's also got to run shell commands, and it's like, well, Got to make a compromise somewhere. All right, so this identified a whole bunch of other places where we could do this and probably should do this. I'd love to have a generic way of doing this. Like this is kind of fine. Can we get this from the bullet's velocity? Can we just do like bullet dot velocity? You could call it get, I guess. Oh, well, let's fix this for the top-down shooter for now. So, I don't know. We should probably fix it for everything at once. Spawned rigid farm items immediately receive linear and angular velocity. This is in the Fever Dream game. I don't really care about that. But we should still fix this everywhere. Coin dropper. Thrown item flight. Thrown strawberry. Wow. I mean, for some of this, I guess we should fix it for all of this. It's just, it's very subtle. So yeah. All right, fine. Go fix all of those. Yeah. Instances. Standing start. So yeah, it's only when something should have been in flight already. So like an arrow getting fired makes sense. Skeleton bone, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I think this is good. Okay, fine. Yeah, fix them all. All right, did we finally break down to, yeah, 97%? Okay, this is a larger issue that we have. The documentation calls this out as a standing start versus a moving start. Yeah. Ooh, all right. Well, great. So what else can we do today? Maybe we should spend a little bit of time thinking about this. Like, what else do I even want to do for stabilization? This to-do list is still gigantic. And if I were to be like, all right, well, I'm done. You know, we're not going to stabilize any longer. Then the to-do list will never shrink down. I wonder if I should make some videos on YouTube. I don't know if there's any purpose in doing that. I've been thinking about it. Like, I don't want to grow my YouTube channel, right? Like, all I care about is marketing this game, and making tutorials or whatever can be a way to market it. But the way I make them is not like there's mass appeal. The last thing I spent a bunch of time on, where is this? I haven't looked at the video stats in forever, so I don't actually know how this is done. Where is it? Yeah, lessons localizing a video game. Well, look at this. I spent hours and hours on this video. And again, I wanted to make it. I wanted to capture this in a point in time. It wasn't to grow the channel necessarily, but it would have been a nice side effect in that case. It's like I already put all that work in. But yeah, 165 views. Like, I don't want to spend a ton of time doing this if it's supposed to be for somebody else and the somebody else doesn't really come through. Hey, Steven. Why don't you make devlogs? I mean, kind of the same reason. Like, I made devlogs for Skeleseller and they didn't really do anything. Devlog 1 got 700 views. Where are the other ones? Devlog 4 got 400 views. Devlog 2 got 500 views. It's like, is it worth making these devlogs? Unless I want to capture some piece of the development. And the VODs kind of already do that. I do think it's nice to show off, like, here's what the game looks like at this point in time. But I pretty much need to go through the entire game for that. So yeah, I just haven't done it yet. I don't know. Shorts are where it's at. Yeah, I made shorts too, and they don't always do well. I think I need to be more consistent and committed to them. And it's just not something I want to do. Then the videos that I want to make, like I said, no one really cares about. All right, so yeah, we do still have a bunch of other stabilization things. It's not necessary to do all this now. I do think getting dialogue portraits would be good though. Yeah, so here's where we'll pick up when I come back for my break. So we're still doing this. And then, yeah, look through the tasks that I still think are important for this stabilization phase. Never saw those. YouTube algorithm must hate you. I think part of the reason, like I do live streams on YouTube. So I think my stream shows up for a lot of people that just don't want to watch a live stream. So they're like, oh, stop this channel from showing up. I think this is one of the problems of just live streaming on the same YouTube channel. But also my content's sometimes all over the place. Yeah. Make it a full-time job. Wow, nice. Yeah. Yeah, that'll just be a short break. Yeah. Clip your streams, gameplay, spit out videos for. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. It's like, to what end should you do things just in the name of marketing and potentially getting your stuff out there? Like, I could probably produce a bunch of just random sucky videos that have no real quality behind them that I'm not even reviewing, and it brings viewership to the channel. But is that what I want to be? Is that what I want to be doing? Anyway, like I said, I'm going to take a break. This is already done, so I'll review this when we get back to. So is it jump time? It's jump time. Okay, hello again. Wow, we had a lot of players that time. Hey, Andre. Hey, Jerry. And did I miss anybody else? Hey, Strawn. Okay, hello everybody. All right, close the game. Gonna take a cold shower now. All right, so all this stuff should be done, right? And they all got a comment. Update drop. Interesting. Wonder why we wouldn't just do this. Air.launch now has this function, I'm guessing, or has this functionality. This is in ready. Reset physics interpolation. No, this is launch. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why does it say ready right here? Oh, that's weird. Huh, yeah, that's weird. It said the wrong function. Okay, well, doesn't matter. Yeah, this is fine. Tween.custom step. Process the tween by the given delta value in seconds. Manual control in the tween is pause. It can also be used to end the tween immediately. Interesting. Did they ever mention this on this page? Because I doubt it. Nope. When the physics interpolation, or when the physics movement happens from a tween, you can call, where's that function here? Tween.custom step. All right, what else? What is get physics process delta time? It's just on literally every node. Returns a time elapsed in seconds since the last physics callback. That is identical to physics process doubles delta parameter. Often consistent at runtime unless physics ticks per second change. Okay, sure. All right, now what's this about? We calculate the impulse first so that we can divide by the item's mass. This is strange. We don't do this anywhere else. This is in the Fever Dream game, though. I don't really care about that. Do items have different mass in this game? What? I don't think so. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. This is launch, secondary tween. All right. So I'd like to take a look at some of these. Yeah. I'd like to take a look at some of these. Oh, I feel that something is wrong. There was a day when they stopped showing me titles and descriptions, and I was like, I can't even use YouTube now. But it was just a bug. What's a tween? A tween is for going in between values. So, for example, let's say you have a character who's here, and you want to move them to here, to a destination. So you could do this linearly, right? You could just move them 1 pixel per second or whatever. You could make them go faster at first and then slow down. You can make them go slower first and then speed up. You could have them like overshoot the destination and come back. Like controlling the how this arrow looks basically is what a tween would do. And it's not just for position, it's for any values. So you could say like go from the color of red to green over 2 seconds using these parameters. You know, like ease in and use a sine function for it. So yeah, anytime that we are using one of these, let's take a look. Like this, for example. This is in thrown strawberry. So we throw a strawberry in a little arc. So like controlling that arc is a tween. Anyway, we got to go look at some of these in the game. I don't think we're going to notice any difference. It's going to be very, very difficult. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. I would like to know how the note stuff went yesterday, if you don't mind sharing. Because I am curious if you got through all that. Okay, so top-down bullets and crossbow arrows. I mean, obviously the top-down bullets were good because we looked at that very closely. But crossbow arrows are going to be a little bit harder to see because they're only in like 2 places in the game. And I don't remember where exactly they are. I think they're in this hallway. Yeah, okay. So, keep your eyes peeled because it's only going to happen twice. And then never again. And I don't know if we're going to even notice a difference. So let's just kill all these things. Okay, so I'm going to walk into the crossbow firing thing. Yeah, it's way too fast. I can't tell. It looks fine. All right, whatever. Anyway, so that one's good. Now what? Fever dream. I don't care about that. But I guess let's go try it anyway. So over here, we now look at this. I mean, it looks good. But I think it would have been pretty much impossible to notice beforehand because they spawn behind you. So if they were frozen for a frame, you wouldn't know. Maybe those would have been more obvious. Yeah. All right. What's next? Skeleton bones and dropped coins. That's over here. So we just have to get hit, and the coins should look like they fly out of you smoothly now. Yeah. Again, though, this never even triggered my spidey sense saying that something's wrong here. Yeah, sure, it looks good, but like, what did looking bad look like? Also, can they knock you into the staircase? I wonder. I don't even know how I'd set that up. Because I have to be to the, like, toward the middle of the blue slimes because the green ones can't knock you in. Maybe if I'm like right here. No. Yeah, I can't figure this out. Maybe, oh, no. Well, whatever. Okay, that looks pretty good. And now let's go figure out the bone throwing. So we got to find a skeleton. There's a skeleton, nice. Yeah, looks fine. Yeah, it looks fine. It also kind of points out that a skeleton can hit you from kind of far away because the ones off screen were attacking me. Can I find another skeleton? Skeletons. Show me the skeletons. Yeah, of course the game's not going to spawn them now. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, cool. What's next? Farming axe and everything else. Let's go take a look at that. Free play. Yeah, looks smooth. Throwing strawberries. Let's go try that out. We need to collect the strawberries first. In fact, the strawberries themselves might have better tweening. I'm not sure. But it's this instance where you throw them in the trash cans. Oh, I can't do this until I trigger this dialogue. Speed up, skip dialogue, slow down. Yeah, this looks nice. Again, I cannot tell if it's better, but it looks nice. Yeah, cool. And what else? Loot box, item flights. So this is when we open a treasure chest here. Man, looks good. That does look a little bit better, I think. Maybe I'm imagining that. And then falling floor slices. Yeah, that probably doesn't matter. Well, let's take a look at that again. Oh, I don't know why I did that. I could just stand here. Yeah, I could just literally stand here and take a look. Anything different with the falling floor? Yeah, not as far as I can tell. So yeah, we can check it in. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Physics interpolation moving starts. See this. Okay, it went okay. Then I got addicted to Victoria instead. No, no. With my iPad for note taking with digital pen. Ah, the Factorio bug. It's claimed another victim. Or rather, the same victim a 17th time. If you get hit while already being pushed by a previous hit, it doesn't push you further. You have invincibility frames for a tiny bit. That might be what you saw. Will it have PvP? No, this game will not have PvP. This game is not even multiplayer, to be clear. So adding PvP to a single player game is generally like a gigantic task because none of the game is designed for multiplayer. All right, commit this. Looking good. Took notes. Great. All right, so look through tasks that I still think are important for this stabilization phase. Yeah. So what I think is still important is adding portraits to dialogue. Let's write this down. Tasks, add portraits to dialogues. What else? else? So here's a quick thing we can do today. This is very minor though. Convert farming and use this. This doesn't really matter. Add portraits. Yeah, I had this written down twice. Should go with a speaker. I should add some yarn tag for which portrait variant to show. Yeah, I'll just put this down here. So yeah, I think this is probably the most important task that we have still for stabilization. What else? Figure out what checkpoint 3 is going to look like. I think we've done this. Plan some vacation. Maybe make checkpoint planning checklist. Do we want to allow players to pick which game they end up in? Would the order they choose impact anything? How that fit the story? Remember, I have a trip in November. Yeah, I think we're done with this stuff. I think all this is finished. Remove their multiplayer mode entirely? Yeah. Yeah, they must not have been making any money off the game anymore. Personally, still apply the physics while ignoring the HP loss. So, yeah, the purpose of this particular game, I'll load this up and I'll show you. So this starts as a very Zelda-esque game, right? You're going through a dungeon. There's no real pressure. There are some enemies here. You work your way through a few of these floors. There's like a switch underneath this vase. These aren't supposed to be difficult puzzles or anything. And then finally you make it to this room where you get bombs and you bomb this wall. The bomb you put down is huge. It blows up the floor. And now you enter Dungeon Racer mode. Your coins control your speed. So right now I'm moving at this speed. If I get hit a few times, I move slower and slower. So if we just kept knocking you backward, it might be even harder to recover. So like I can't outrun the floor now. So I'm forced to fall. I get my coins back. And by getting them back, I move faster and faster until I'm able to go and like get through the dungeon now. So yeah. So that's part of the reason we didn't have it still keep knocking you back. Because your movement really matters here. We want to be a little bit more forgiving. But yeah, I like this game a lot. I think this is the most fun of all the ones I had made. But now I've played it so much that it's not as fun anymore for me. It's still fun to watch other people play it. Yeah, eventually you start moving super fast through this. And also eventually you get some power-ups. I can do this and get them all. Now I can dash through enemies to hurt them. And just kind of dart through the whole dungeon. And yeah, eventually you beat it. Okay. So yeah, what other features? Automating tests. Honestly, we have some automated tests now. They're not game tests exactly. And I don't know for sure that I care about this, but I kind of do. I would need to figure out how I want to run these and where we should be adding tests. Yeah, we probably should look into this. Hope there will be spinoffs. You know, it's kind of crazy. Like, let's just say we decided that, yes, everyone loves this Dungeon Racer game. Oh my God, it's so great. But I'm going to make Stuck in a Broken Tutorial no matter what. There are two high-level options here. One is just make a standalone spin-off game. And option 2 is make it as though it's standalone, but bundle it into Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. If I did this, I'd probably sell it for like $1 or $2 or something, right? It's like, oh yeah, you can play a bunch more levels of this. We flesh it out. It's its own game. It's got achievements and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. DLC. DLC. Yeah, that's kind of like option 2B, I guess. DLC. Like you couldn't play it on its own. You need Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. I wonder if I did this, how many people would buy it for $1? Like seriously, if I was just like, you know what, let's just extract the whole game out and make new levels and make new power-ups and make new whatever, some artwork specifically for this, like how much would it make? Because there's a certain amount of money it would make where it would not be worth it, right? If it makes like $500, it's like it's not worth putting the time into that game, and you don't even make your Steam feedback, so it actually costs you. It actually only makes you $400 in that case. I mean, minus taxes and everything. But yeah, if it's gonna make like $20,000, it might be worth it to do that. Depends on how long it takes, obviously. If it's gonna take you 3 years to do that, it's not worth it anymore. But yeah, if it takes you like a month. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we do this toward launch. We just kind of figure out what do we want to do, or maybe the next checkpoint. In fact, did I ever answer all these questions? I'm not sure if I did. Maybe we need to. Where even are the questions? Questions. Yeah, I think we should put this here. Are there any sub games worth spinning off? And if so, would we want to make them a separate Steam game, DLC for Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, or just add extra content for Stuck in a Broken Tutorial? Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out later. And yeah, I do want to actually look through this as well. Look through these questions. All right, let's keep looking. So yeah, automated tests. I think we should look into them. Look into automated game tests. AI adds these easily enough. We could just commit some of these. All right, what else? So yeah, these we're putting at the top of the list. Convert the farming game, set up domains. Yeah, this is still important. There's some off-stream work I got to do. This I can't really do on stream. I mean, maybe I could, but I don't think it's a good idea. Off-stream stuff. Set up domains and email. I mean, maybe we could just give it as a task to AI, like make xtonomous.com be a landing page. We just say no. Is there some value in releasing more games? Every game is a chance for people to discover your previous games. DLC tend to be a hard sell for new people. There probably is, yeah. Yeah. I think if we a lot of thoughts going through my head. So Stuck in a Broken Tutorial is going to be like 15 sub games, and maybe we think, okay, 2 are good candidates for spin-offs. The first spin-off we do is going to be a huge undertaking, because it's like we have this whole code base right now, so we need to extract out the Dungeon Racer stuff, and that means extracting out like localization, the build and release process, the code itself, but without having the stuck in a broken tutorial aspect to it. The other thing I need to consider is, let's say people go in the opposite direction. Let's say they play this Dungeon Racer game first and then they go to Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. Will they be like, oh, I played this game already, or I played this sub game already. Like this is too easy, or this is uncreative or something. I'm not sure. And then, yeah, there's a bunch of artwork and everything we need that's custom for a new game. I think with DLC, you probably just need like one picture. So, yeah, I think it's... I think it requires a lot of deliberation. That's not going to be a very straightforward, easy thing. All right, title screen, I think we're fine with that. Yeah, font, I think I'm okay with for now. Spoken dialogue, supports mouse well enough. That's something maybe for later. Yeah, add a basic trailer to Steam. This doesn't have to happen now. We have gotten quite a lot done in like 2 weeks. Pursue this game, start making themes for the UI, figure out what we're doing with the resolution. Yeah, testing on Steam Deck I should also probably do. It's been too long without me trying it. But how do I even do this? I don't have Build Depot set up yet. Oh, man. I should probably do that some afternoon. Yeah, I should probably do that some afternoon. Which likely means setting up build depots for Go Burrito. All right, loading screens. We could hold off on loading screens for a bit too, I think. Oh, and then a demo at some point. That's after checkpoint 3. I think it's best to just... Yeah, I think I'm just going to delete this. Okay, Steam Cloud, Steam Input. Yeah, I think... So here's my general timeline. Today is August, what, 13th? Yeah. So I think I said, what, November 6th is when I'll have the next checkpoint out. Checkpoint 3. It'll have a total of 9 subgames, I think. Or maybe, I don't remember what I said exactly, like 8 to 10. And then after that, maybe we focus on a Steam demo. It might be too early. Yeah. All right. Make sure no Steam stuff runs when you're there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're in pretty good shape. Like none of these are super important. Yeah. Okay. So those are the last things I kind of wanted to do then, huh? Portraits to dialogues, automated tests, and set up domains and email. So how long will it take to do those things? I mean, honestly, probably like an extra day. We could probably do that stuff tomorrow. Oh yeah, did I want to make any YouTube videos? Or do I want to make a trailer yet? If I do make a trailer, it's going to be rough around the edges, but like kind of just to have something. I don't really want to spend the time on that yet. I don't see a world where this Steam page takes off without me making a trailer, making a demo. Like I just don't do that much advertising or marketing. Maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy though. All right. Well, anyway, that's all done. So now look through these questions. Let's go take a look at that. That should be pretty quick. So pacing, we can roughly divide the game into story beats and sub games. How's the momentum feel? Yeah, I think it's all been fine. How much do people interact with the world? It depends on the person. I've seen people look at practically everything in the game, and some people just skip right to the objectives. Varying lengths. So we capture people's attention for games. Game's difficult. Is there a difficulty selector? I'm just scanning this to see if there are any problems, not like thoroughly answering everything. People struggling with controls. I don't think I've seen anyone struggle with the controls, except for maybe a little bit here and there where it's not explicitly explained. Actually, yeah, maybe I should add a glyph for this. I didn't even think about this until just now. But in the farming game, we don't ever tell you how you change items. And actually, I guess you never need to change. No, you do. You do. Yeah, so if I had to go to free play here, yeah, nothing on the screen tells you like press L to change to this item or R to change to the next item. If you're playing with a controller and you're ever confused, I guess you just press every button on your controller and like, oh, you know what? We could probably make these change your items as well. I didn't think about that. But how do we do this in a way that makes sense? I don't think you can do it, can you? On my controller, my button order is YB or YXBA. This is like the Nintendo order. The Xbox order is swapped, right? XYAB. So you'd have to map to a physical button and know the order of them to make them be like left to right. It's probably not worth it. Button mash to success. Well, button mash is just figure out what the controls are. This happened a lot in older games. So if there was ever a button combination that was not obvious, like in a fighting game, for example, where you have a combo or like, quarter circle, high punch, something like that, then yeah, it would be really hard to figure out how to play the game. There'd need to be some like in-game way of showing it. Or sometimes you had like hold down and press jump and you would slide. But yeah, just pressing like face buttons and seeing an effect from them, I think is easy enough. Anyway, so should I add little input glyphs to this? Like down here, there's a little L button thing and an R button thing there. Maybe if they're small enough, it'd be okay. Maybe I'll just mock it up and try it out. I don't know how important it's going to be. Farming game, see how it would look to have the L and R input glyphs on either side of the hotbar. It may alleviate confusion for some people. Maybe we stop showing them after you've swapped items a few times. Maybe it just shows on a start menu or something. I don't know. Yeah. I think I did actually answer these mostly for checkpoint 2. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so now bind shortcut for go to diff of current file. Yeah, this has been bothering me like crazy. I really want to go do this. So let's say we make a change here and we set private, who cares, bool, who cares, equals false, whatever. Doesn't matter. How do I go to the diff view here without clicking something? Like, is there some action I can do? This says show diff. So if I do show diff, I don't think there's a way to do this. I can open the settings. Open blank diff window. What does that do? What's the point of that? So you can paste in text, I guess? Oh, that's actually kind of neat. Okay. Diff and merge, diff pre. Yeah, I don't know how you do this. Huh. Writer, how to open the diff of the current file. Or, well, from the keyboard. Honestly, at this point, I'll just ask AI. In Writer, how do you open the diff view of the current file entirely from the keyboard? Is there a single shortcut that I can assign? I know how to do this through the UI, but I want a hotkey. All right, set this to that. Sure. Wait, creating a work tree. Whoops. Yeah, that was pointless. Oh well. I can't find it in the action menu, and if I can't find it in here, I don't know if it exists. But I find it very weird that people don't want to do this. Is it in here anywhere? Git? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Compare with same repository version. Really? Compare with latest repository version. Well. Okay, great. There's a shortcut. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. So it's compare with latest repository version. We need to set a shortcut for that. Key map. Compare with latest. Which one of these is it? Probably this one. Subversion, diff and merge. This one maybe. Yeah. So what should the keyboard shortcut be now? I have Command F5 to go to the source, so maybe Command Shift F5. Already used for rerun. Wait. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Jump to source. Command F4. Okay, so Command Shift F4. Yeah. All right. Does that work? Oh, it's glorious. It's so glorious. All right, great. Yeah. Ooh. Do I have any shortcuts that I wanted to? Shortcuts / hotkeys that I enjoy. That I've set up. So this is called compare with latest repository version. Compare with latest repository version. This goes to the diff view. And I might as well write my shortcut here. Command Shift F4. Whoop, come on. Shift F4. There we go. Yeah, the reason I wanted this so badly is because my typical flow is I've got to change here and I've got to change somewhere else. Let's just go to some like player.cs and make another change here. Private int foo, whatever. Okay, great. And I'm like, oh man, I want to see what are the changes I've made everywhere. So once you're in the diff view, you can go up and down and see all the different. Oh no, you can't. Oh, this is not what I want then. Oh man, this is different from opening it up here because now I can press up and down and go between these. No. No. Oh, no. Why is this different from the other one? How is it different? How is this picture different from this? Oh, the commit changed. What? Is that Alex? You weird dudes. Developing a plugin in Godot to do the diff change inside Godot. Yeah, since I use an IDE, it's already got a diff view. I just want to open up a specific version of this diff view. Maybe it's a different compare with? Maybe. I mean, I guess we could just do it here. Compare with latest. We only have the one. Show diff. Whoa. Hold on. That didn't show up before, did it? Show diff. I think I've got to be in. I think I've got to be in this view for that to show up. No, what happened here? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, even show diff doesn't do what I wanted to do. I can't navigate to the next file now. Yeah, this is okay. Now I see what's going differently here. There's no left and right arrows here. Compare next file. History compare data show diff. Yeah. Yeah, that's too bad. Don't assign show diff. It's context specific. This doesn't work exactly how I want. I want a hotkey to open the diff view as though I opened it through the commit UI. That way I can use, what is this called? I can use my next difference key to navigate between files that I've changed. This is probably one of those things where it's like people have asked for a feature to be added and it just hasn't been added. There's maybe another way I could do this by pressing Command Shift B and then I guess just selecting a file. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works, right? I just had to press enter. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, I'll just do that. Enable settings, preferences, tools, diff, and merge. Go to the next file after reaching last change. Oh, I can just change the setting for this. Go to last file. Hey, Cakes, welcome in, everybody. Hello, hello. Give a shout out to Cakes. I finally figured out what Cakes is working on. A Gothic remake. I've not played Gothic. But I was trying to get the answer out of somebody in the last like several raids and I could not get that answer. But I hope it's going well. Boy, there already is a Gothic remake? 2026 action role-playing game. So he's making a Gothic remake. Hey, Flosser. And hey, dig it. Yeah, he made that. That's his game. Okay, got it. But anyway, welcome in. We are working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, and progress has been really good. It's been a little over 4 months now, I think. I think we started in... I don't remember. I think it was like April. Oh, Worry, thanks for the resub. Yeah, happy quarter of a year. Yeah, so I'll show this game off really quickly. This is a game about a collection of other games. So they're all tutorials and they're all broken in some way. We now have a much cooler looking effect for when you get to the end of this particular game. But yeah, so we're teaching you some basic stuff, and then you get to here and you use the things that you learned. Except for now this little transition looks a lot better because you actually go through the source code of this game as you're falling. And yeah, I think breaking things in more over the top ways is what we got to start aiming for. So yeah, you end up in here, you go from here to a totally different game. And then from that totally different game to another totally different game and just keep going in that. Oh wait. Hey, Acton. Yeah, I hadn't seen Gothic. I don't know if that's still the current plan. Yeah, Twitch bitrate doesn't like that. Yeah, it looks a lot better in person. So anyway, you end up from here in a farming game. But yeah, there have been a lot of just general small changes that I've made. There's a lot more polish now. Quickie Joe made the sprite work for all these other characters, so whatever character customizations you have will carry with you through the games. So like right now I've got blue hair. If I go to the next game, we'd also have that. But yeah, then little touches like we always had it so that the shovel is just like an Uber tool in here and you can dig up whatever. But we made it so you can dig up your furniture, for example, and just get rid of like your table and your chairs. And you can plant seeds in here now if you want, or dig up your chimney. And like none of this is important for the game, but this is Stuck in a Broken Tutorial and these communicate that the game is broken. You can dig out through your wall and just walk out of your house that way. My absolute favorite change, though, that I've made in probably the last month has been this. So, you are supposed to get a key and go to the community center and open the door. So if I press the button right now, it's going to unlock the door. I'll lose the key. But one of the playtesters recently tried digging the door up. So that works. And that's like, okay, whatever. They did this. That's funny. Now you could walk into the community center. But now your key has no purpose. So I made it so you can throw it on the ground. I just love that animation, and that whoever discovers this on their own is going to get such a kick out of that, but it's probably gonna be like 1 out of 1,000 people. But I absolutely love that change, so it tickled me greatly for that to be in the game. Making Thronefall clone. Okay, I do not know that game. I gotta look that up. Hey Brens, I started listening to Magnesium Miracle, the audiobook. Thanks for suggesting that. It's a very interesting book because they're like, here's 37 ailments that magnesium helps, and here's why it's never bad to take too much unless you're in a very, specific case. Anyway, yeah, so there's lots of other things that we did here in these games that I'm happy that we've gotten done. We've now got controller glyphs up here, and as you switch between mouse and controller, it actually changes the glyphs as well. So it says move using WASD, or move using the D-pad. Yeah, it's looking good. But yeah, welcome everybody. So we've done 5 of these games so far, and yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Placebo, I don't know. It's probably not a placebo, because I feel the same way. Did I do anything cool in here? I know I did. Once you get bombs, I made it so you put down like regularly sized bombs. When you finally blow up the wall, it's like a huge one. And I mean, I think that's like minorly funny. It's not great. Yeah, I guess there's nothing else that's really like funny in this game. This particular one. Yeah, so things are going well. We're working on getting a Steam page online. It should be up in the next like couple business days, I think. But today's a pretty low-key day. We're gonna get back to like proper game development in probably about a week, I'd say. Anyway. So yeah, welcome in everybody. What I was trying to do when people came in here is figure out how to set up a certain rider shortcut. Diff and merge, go to next file after reaching last change. Go to next file. Actually, it's probably just searching diff and merge is better, right? Where even is this? I don't see this at all. This is technically not diff and merge. Oh, there it is. This is already set. Okay, well, it's a waste. Yeah, this doesn't work. All right, whatever. So I should just delete this shortcut then, huh? Going to the diff view for a file. So compare with latest repository version does not do what I want, since it doesn't let you use the next difference shortcut hotkey to go to another file. Instead, I open the commit view and just press enter on a file to trigger the diff. So this is what, Command Shift B? Yeah. All right, so let's say we have all this stuff closed, and even that, and I want to go to the diff for main, let's say. Yeah, I would need to select it. That's the only problem. But whatever. It's better than nothing. What about that link? I think the feature I want just doesn't really exist. Yeah, I think it just doesn't exist. Commit window. Enable commit tool window. What is this? It's enabled already. Yeah, I don't think this is possible. It's okay. I've got a close enough workaround that it's fine. Just something that bothered me a lot. Yeah, so I want to look up Thronefall. I think someone might have mentioned this. Have I played this game? No. I don't think so. I think I saw a game dev article about this game and how they like prototype to try to come up with this game. Apparently this did very well. It looks neat. Building, defending your little kingdom. Interesting. Oh, and I heard good things about The King is Watching too. Yeah. Yeah, neat. Well, I think it's cool to watch these games come together. I don't know what his timeline is, but I have been trying to figure out my own timeline here. And part of it is I'm just going forward as fast as possible. And at some point, we're going to stop and be like, okay, how much more do we need here? How many more months should it take? And one of the things I'm trying not to underestimate is how much polish needs to go into everything. Like at some point, we're going to need to clean up all this UI that is unthemed. Like even the title screen. The title screen, I like the artwork, but these buttons at the bottom are just plain buttons. Like the settings page, plain buttons. The control rebinding page, plain buttons. At some point, we're going to have to pay all that debt. But hey, we got functional save slots now. Functional customization screen. There's a lot that's coming along. And everything's getting better. Okay. So I have a bunch of these tasks to do. This is already done. I don't think I want to start this right now, adding portraits to dialogues, but maybe we should. Yeah, maybe we should. You go with the speaker, add some yarn tag. I probably won't have specific sprites yet. So we should just like screenshot the speaker from their texture. Let me think about this. I also don't know how I want the UI to look exactly. This is inside the farming game and inside the architect's realm when you have people talking. So if I go here and we just speed this up. Yeah, so here we go. So here's an example of the dialogue. Let's take a picture. Let's put this into Affinity. So a portrait could very easily go to the left or to the right of this, probably to the left so that a difference in string size here doesn't push the portrait off to the side. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty reasonable. Probably put the portrait to the left of the speaker's name. And then what do we do about places where it's like someone speaking to you maybe? So if I skip this dialogue, that's all you talking to Tutorial Man. But if you go over here, for example, it says your conscience. Let me like zoom in on your brain. Hey, Phaedric. So questions when it's something like your conscience speaking. What should we show? Maybe still a picture of you. Hey, you're right to be. Do you think the role of a product owner is, I'm not sure what that's supposed to say, important role in developing something in a company? I'm not sure if the word I don't understand that you typed is important to the sentence, but in general, I think product owners are important. Yeah, someone at some point needs to determine how will the product work? Like, what are users saying? What do we prioritize? So it doesn't need to be a discrete role. It could be that there's a developer who's acting as the product owner as well, but like someone's got to make the shots. They got to call the shots. So I do think that's very important. I think without that, you run into either a bunch of people making their own decisions, which might not be unified. So, oh, hey, I think VS Code should have a chat feature in it. So we're going to be able to talk to your friends in it. And someone goes and just develops that. And it's like, is that the direction of the product we should be taking? Like, does everyone else agree with this? So that's what the product owner would do. And if you don't have that, then it is a bunch of people who are afraid to make decisions because they don't know what they should be doing. So yeah, I think it's important. Recently saw a great video about this topic. I'll have to add it to my afternoon list. Yeah, I have a lot of tasks for the rest of today. So as a product owner of a very big company, thinking about if I'll be important in the future. And so that's where I was saying, like, as a standalone role, it may change. Like someone has to do it. And whether it's a person or whether it's AI, whether that person is a developer who just has his own it or the VP of the company or a dedicated product owner is up in the air, and also depends on the product, right? Like right now I'm making a game. It is a very small team of people. So like I'm the product owner, but I'm also a developer and I'm also a musician for it. Like I wouldn't be wearing all these hats at like a 1,000 person company. I'd probably be like, all right, my time is best devoted to being, well, whatever my role would be, a developer or a CEO or a product owner, whatever. So yeah, I don't, it's hard to say like, will companies keep their same amount of product owners to developers? Because it could go either way. It could be that product owners absorb some development or developers own some product ownership. Hey, Double Truth. Less about the role and more about understanding the industry. I mean, I would just argue that that's part of the role. I think it's how do you make decisions for a product? How do you move things forward? What do you do that's best for the business? And if you don't understand the industry, it's probably harder for you to do that. But I wouldn't say the whole role is about understanding the industry. I think sometimes it's about understanding your users too, which is not necessarily an industry trend. But yeah, it all depends on what you're working on. You got like 9 developers with 3 product owners for now for 2 different products. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't really say there's cause for alarm given what you just mentioned here. Like the company seems like they value product owners enough to have multiple of them. It could always change, but until you start to see signs of that change, then yeah, you're probably okay. If you do start seeing signs of that change, maybe thinking about how you would adapt. Like if they all of a sudden if they had 100 product owners and they're like, we only need 40 of these, then yeah, 60 people are going to be out of a job. Like, what do you end up doing? Do you think development would go? Do you think design would go? Do you think, I don't know, just going to a different company or something would be best? Got rid of basically all our scrum masters, POs, product managers. Also went from 1,000 devs to 400. Yeah, so this general shrinking is what I kind of expected to have happen across the industry. Like people can be more productive with a little bit less. And even in other ways that are, I think, much less controversial, like managing your calendar, for example, or managing your email. And I don't necessarily mean like emailing people for you. I just mean something like I have 100 emails in my inbox. Which ones are important? Like this is pretty non-controversial that, yeah, I could sift through. It could probably tell you. All it's doing is bringing certain things to the forefront that you could have just looked through yourself, right? It doesn't even need to summarize the emails. But yeah, this makes you a little bit more productive, right? Oh, I have to write a document that's kind of just a one-off throwaway thing that sums up our thoughts from this meeting. Yeah, okay, write that. Oh, cool. We just saved 10 minutes or something. For some reason, they got me. Thank you, lucky star. Yeah, I hope they continue to keep you NSO. Okay, so what else can we do about portraits here? Probably the portrait to the left of the speaker's name. It should be optional. Should it even be optional? Is there ever an instance in the game where we don't want to show a picture of a speaker? Here are the only speakers we have right now. Tutorial man, player, your bed. Your bed talking to you is pretty funny to me. Sidekick, NPC. Yeah, these all have like faces. I mean, your bed doesn't have a face, but your bed has a picture. So they all have portraits. Do we ever have anything else here? I have to search for colons and do this and do this and do that. Okay, so now anything that starts with tutorial man. Actually, you know what? We could just sort all of these and delete all of those. And bed, delete all of these. Conscience, NPC, player, sidekick. Sidekick's got a lot of lines. Wow. Tutorial man. Ah, yeah, here's a good example. There's no speaker in here. So if there's ever a speaker, we have a portrait for them in this game. So this is fine. This, you think of heading north. Does anyone say this to you? No, there's no speaker. All right, and then the other thing we have is the architect realm. And here I think there should only ever be 2 speakers. Well, 3 technically, I guess. Yeah, so we're fine. So we always do have a portrait. Regarding whether it's optional, whenever we have a portrait or whenever we have a speaker, we have an obvious portrait candidate. So it doesn't have to be optional in that sense, but we don't always have a speaker. And we could just add them for that. But I kind of like when there's narration happening. Like, what was that? You think of heading north. What did I type? Yeah, you think of heading north. You feel the urge to go to the community center instead. It could be like your brain is telling this to you. But I don't think we need that. All right, they should go with a speaker. The portrait should go with a speaker. Maybe add some yarn tag for which particular variant to show. I don't think we need that yet. Probably won't have specific sprites yet. It's just screenshot the speaker from their texture. May want to differentiate text colors between speakers. This I'm not so sure about. And I think it could get distracting a little bit. Yeah. For your conscience, use a picture of player. For shadowy figure and the architect, use the same portrait. Is there anything else I'm missing? Oh, for the bed, use a picture of the bed. Yeah. Should be pretty apparent what to use a picture of. Okay. Hey, BG King. So a great game dev video about fonts for the UI. Touches on portraits. Okay. Thanks. I'll write it down. All right, put the portrait to the left of the speaker's name. Yeah, so we don't have anything outstanding here, do we? No. I guess this doesn't really have to be all that crazy here. Name new characters you encounter. You should make it so you name your bed. I want to be a little bit careful about this. Your bed probably won't show up again. Like Sidekick will, but you won't be able to name them. And I think it'll take you out of the task that you're doing at the time. In fact, actually, I'm kind of surprised. Like Final Fantasy VII is one of the games I remember this, where when you first meet any of the characters, you name them, but it's like in the middle of an action scene or something. You'll be like escaping from mercenaries, and they're like, "Wait, what's this character's name?" And you're like, it's Barrett Wallace." And you're like, "Okay, now we get back to the action." It's just a bit off, I think. And I guess some of the alternatives are like name all the characters at the beginning of the game, but you haven't met them yet. I don't remember what Secret of Mana did. I think that might have been when you met the characters. But anyway, yeah, I don't think I'm going to have you name the bed. Plus, the bed's name doesn't really show up except for when you go to sleep and when you talk to them afterward. You didn't name your characters playing with scissors? You just typed in gibberish? All right, so I want to add portraits to the dialogue UI. Let me snooze this. For both the, well, yeah, to the dialogue UI. Usually in the farming game and in the architect's realm. All right, we are going to plan this. We are going to do this on Soul. For the UI, there should be a portrait that is, I guess it doesn't need to be the same height. We should probably just pick a height. Yeah, and it should probably just match whatever we currently have. So how large is this? 240-ish pixels. So we'd have like a 240 by 240 square. Yeah. That is roughly the height of the current farming dialogues speaker name. It's somewhere around 240 pixels. The speaker name should expand to fit the size of the portrait. And the speaker name should be centered vertically. Wait, what police officer? I played Silver and Gold. I know the meme about Professor Oak not remembering his own son's name or grandson's name. And now you have to name them. He stole a Pokemon from the... I don't remember that. Really? Huh. Yeah. I mean, this is a long time ago. I don't know if I replayed Gold and Silver all that much. That was the one that added berries? Is it? That your Pokemon could hold? I forgot. It's been so long. All right. So for UI, we do this. The portraits are tied to the speaker. So we should have some manifestation of which sprite and region to take their portraits from. Fill in portraits for all of the existing speakers. So how should we do portraits in this sense? Like, player can always face to the right and anyone talking to you could face to the left, maybe? Like the player you're controlling faces right? Or maybe it's always based on where they are when they're talking to you. No, I think it's probably good. Yeah. Fill in all the portraits for the existing speakers. So player's portrait should be from an idle sprite sheet facing right. All other portraits should be from a facing left sprite sheet if possible. The bed only has one sprite, so just use the like the upper portion of that sprite to make it obvious that it's a bed. Your conscience should use the same portrait as player for now. Or no, how about this? Should be a zoomed in region of player's head. And shadowy figure and the architect should use the exact same portrait. All right, anything else? Hang on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. When there's no speaker name, don't show a portrait. And then do we want to change text colors? Let's just start with portraits for now and see how that goes. Ideally, these are not reallocated every time dialogue shows. Black silhouette. I'm not sure if that would communicate it clearly. I'm not even sure zooming in on your head would communicate it clearly, but I think it's kind of funny. You're like, why isn't my hair talking? Oh, that's the zoomed in shot of my brain, basically. All right, I'm going to trigger this and I'm going to go take a break. And when we come back, hopefully the plan is ready. That's not why I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break because it's been an hour. So is it jump time? It's jump time. All right, for those who've never seen this, by the way, you can type join in chat and then J and a number to jump. Try to make it to the top. I'll be back in a little bit. See you soon. right, hello again, everybody. Close the game. Hey, Davey. Not even Diesel. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, Davey. All right, I'll trace the dialogue UI speaker model, blah, blah, blah. What logical portrait size should the shared dialogue UI target? Probably this. I don't know. I don't really care. Should a player in your conscience portraits reflect the current save slots customized palette? Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that. Yes, they should. Oh, man. Should dialogue portraits be static or animate their idle frames? I think static is fine. Yeah, I think it'd look a little weird to not do static. They can spam and they can write the same message. You can write the same jump with just any trash at the end of your message. So like this and this are the same message. Well, sorry, this and I meant like B or something. So you could just keep alternating like a character at the end. And that way you can keep typing the same thing. Life is progressing. I think it's been a couple years. What's been new in the last couple of years? If you send a message too fast, it gets ignored. Yeah, I think part of it is you've got to be on the ground for it to do something. Yeah, honestly, this is the kind of feature I don't look forward to doing, but with AI, I think it's pretty straightforward. Also, all told, this is not super complicated. We already have a bunch of speaker data here. Where is it? I don't recall where it is, but we have a bunch of speaker data. We would need to manifest a portrait for everybody and then render it in the UI and change the portrait for the color of the player. Yeah, I don't think it'll be too much. Need someone to stand behind me and slap me when I get way off track. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I have no idea what's going on. We're doing game development on this channel. So I am working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. And one of the issues that people have had when they're playing this is, I mean, it hasn't been very long, so it's not like this was ever going to stay this way. But when there's dialogue in the game like this, you can see who's speaking, but at a glance, this looks practically identical to this. So like I want to add in portraits so that you can tell who's talking at the moment. And that's what we're doing right now. So yeah, this is all for the sake of this game. And wait, let me see what happens when you do this. Yeah, it says bed. Okay. Yeah. So we'll show a picture of the bed as well. I think this will work just fine. Yeah, I think this will work fine. And then what else did I want to do? I want to look into automated tests and then the domains and email stuff. Yeah, there's so much to look into. So much. All right, well, let's fill this out. Even the furniture talks in this game. It's only natural that your bed would want to talk to you. It also guilts you after you go to sleep, saying like you shouldn't sleep again. That's what we do. Worked on some miscellaneous tasks. It was mostly coding and getting organized. Only streamed in the morning. I want to finish this up, but then yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be streaming for too much longer. It was only supposed to be a half day anyway today, and I want to make a lot of progress in the afternoon, just off stream. Which idle art should the shared player portrait use? Active sub game. Yeah, this one. Yeah, actually, I hadn't thought of that. Makes a portrait source a speaker ID, sub game ID lookup for player in your conscience while every other speaker remains globally fixed. Man. Wait, Vin Diesel, are you a person? Oh, man. Yeah, you're a real person. this is the signs of someone who is having bot messages. Your account was created 3 days ago. And were you walking that guy walk up Scotland as well? has the ring of a bot. Yeah, by the way, it turns out the Codex surprise yesterday was just another reset right after the banked reset got used. So I got basically no value out of it. I thought they were going to allow buyable resets. So too bad that they didn't. All right. Well, what else do we need? So, I mean, I guess we're working on this right now. This is finished. Might as well move this up the list. Yeah, I don't want to start anything major right now. Do I have a Chrome node I can write this into? I do. Okay, yeah, let's do that. It's been since 2016? No, it hasn't been since 2016. You showed up again a couple years ago. It was January 3rd, 2024. See? Here are your messages. Adam, you're back? I haven't seen you in like 8 years. That's why I finally got my own place. Rose the IT career ladder to a comfy position. Currently learning Juniper systems to get certified. Ah, nice. Yeah, congrats. I think, no, I'm not going to dox you, but I think I remember where you were living way back then. I don't know if you're in the same area. But yeah, I was working on Scala Seller, I think, when you were here last. I launched this game. It's now out. It's buyable. It did pretty well. I mean, yeah, it's got some reviews. Did this drop? Did someone just leave a negative review? I am curious. Yeah, 2 in the last couple days. What does this mean? Too short. And this also says very short at the beginning. You know, I am surprised. The people who say it's too short have ignored bone mode. And I get that it's not for everyone, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know how to indicate any differently on the page. I feel like people are just going to buy this and leave those reviews. Hopefully other people read those reviews, because that's pretty much the entirety of the negative reviews now that there's no longer complaints about the cost. But anyway, yeah, so Scala Seller's been out. It's nice that we have a Steam game that's actually done well instead of Botland, which I don't know if you can even go to anymore on Steam. Can you go to the store page or does it not exist? Yeah, it does. Yeah, but I mean, the game's been discontinued. Yeah, that's no longer available. And the new game will be on Steam soon. Isn't there yet? All right, which loot boxes player frame should the portrait use? Right leaning idle. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. Oh, the nostalgia. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't have much else I wanted to do here. I mean, I might as well write some. I'll tackle some like random tasks as we're waiting for this, but yeah, there's nothing. Oh, hey, this is done now. Still might as well write this down. Drag Chrome by the blank space below the vertical tabs. All right. What are we looking at here? So add static cached 80 by 80 logical portraits to the shared yarn dialog UI. Portraits appear immediately left of the speaker name. The name panel grows to the same height and remains vertically centered. Narration without a speaker hides the entire portrait and name header. Extend speaker data with cached portrait definitions containing texture path, atlas region, horizontal flip metadata. Resolve portraits by speaker ID, subgame ID where needed. Reuse the same atlas texture. Sounds good. Define portraits for every speaker. Active subgame idle art. Farming. Facing right. Top down shooter. Right down idle frame. Loop boxes. Yep, that's all good. Tightly cropped, zoomed in head region. Tutorial man. First lateral idle frame. Sidekick. Yep. Bed. Sure. Shadowy figure. Same cache. Left facing architect texture atlas. And none. No portrait. None. Yeah, I guess. We don't have a null portrait for if there is a speaker, but you just don't want a portrait. Place name only visibility presenter with a speaker header presenter that resolves the localized speaker once per line. Yeah, use an 80 by 80 nearest neighbor. Recolorable texture rect. Nice. Pass recolor palette through. Okay. Expand farming dialog container. Okay, that's fine. Extend runtime speaker validation, require portrait coverage for your named speaker. Also sounds fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, implement this. Hey, Chili. Same area. Yeah, yeah. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah. Should be a literal speaker, the audio icon. That is pretty funny. I'm gonna write that down. Ideas, jokes. Yeah. Regarding dialogue portraits, if we ever have a speaker, well, it wouldn't be understood, would it? No, I don't think it'd be clear. And I'm not sure if it would make sense in other languages. Yeah. Sorry, Pickle. Premature celebration. You're on this list though, aren't you? Yeah, you're on the list already. Your contributions matter. All right, can we do any of this stuff? Mm. Oh, I did this. Follow-up work. Yeah. Yeah, think I think this is it. Does Steam have a short game tag? Because like I'd like to add that if I can. What is this? Yeah, I want to add this if we can. Because it is rather unfortunate to get negative reviews for something that I'm like trying to make as clear as possible already. Let me see if I can just go change this. Edit store page. Tag my title. Begin. So there's no short tag there. There isn't one there. There isn't one there. This doesn't even exist, does it? You can't even do this. Man, what? Oh wait, short is there. Yeah. User tags. Yeah, 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 yeah. I want this to be like at the top. I don't want people, I don't even want shopkeeper to be up there. Yeah. There. Maybe that will help. Steam dev page. Oh yeah. I'll take a look at that next too. Yeah. Those reviews had like 5 hours on record. Yeah, but for idle games, which is what I think they're comparing it to, they are upset about the length. Now that said, I mean the game is pretty cheap, especially compared to what it used to be. So do I need to do anything now, or is this already online? Yeah, it's already online. Good. Good. Yeah. I had this on my to-do list, and now it's finally done. We could also do that for the demo. I don't think it really matters for the demo because the demo is its own Steam page. But yeah, we might as well just go do it. Well, no, I don't think it matters for the demo. Demos are always short, right? Yeah, that's a nice review. All right, so how do we get to that page that Chili's talking about? I click this. And then how do I edit this? How do I change this? Admin? Let me do this off screen for a sec. Hang on a sec. Ah, yeah. Oop, that's as much as we can fit. Cool. Website. https extonomous.com. And let's save that. I don't actually have a website there yet. In fact, what do we just go make that right now? Social media. I have like 3 different sites I could use, I guess. Okay, so I think this is good. Save changes. Unable to save. Problem submitting. Please try again. It's not Tuesday. This can only happen on Tuesday. Oh, man. Fine, let me copy this so I don't lose it. What if I hit save now? Did it save? Is anything happening? I don't think so. Maybe it wants a title. Official site. Actually, why would I even link to this? There's nothing on there. Yeah. Let's try saving this. Oh my God, come on. Just refresh the page. Oh, it looks like it did save. Did it? Oh, yeah, nice. It did. Okay, cool. Often doesn't do it. I have to repeat it 2 to 3 times. Have you run into that issue? Yes. What I typically do is I preface with just an arrow key. So like if you were to type like hi and then click and then type shift like this. Okay, that actually did work. But often it doesn't. So I just press like left, right, and then that clears its buffer, its internal buffer. And now I can type something like left, right, command, left, right, alt, left, right, control, whatever. All right, so we did this. I said I was going to make the site. Yeah, I probably should. I wonder where I should even put that. Kind of bad though. Yeah, I agree. It's not the best. What should even be on the site? I guess just links to the other games. Do I have something written down here? I don't. Do I have it on my personal to-do list? Let me check really fast. Could have sworn I had something written about this. Find extonomous. Make a simple landing page. It should just have a brief blurb and a link to each game on Steam. Make sure it has open graph images. Yeah. Just have a brief blurb, a copyright, open graph images, open graph metadata and images, and a link to each game on Steam. Maybe it's just about and games. Yeah, I actually don't want to set this up exactly right now. Is there anything else on here? No, I think it's good. Privacy policy. There's really nothing to even have a privacy policy about. There's no data we take. And there's no cookies. So it's literally just a static page with some text on it and probably some pictures. Probably use the capsule art from the games. Even saying that is good. But I mean, on a static site, like, yeah, we could have a privacy value. I don't really see much of a need. Plus, almost no one's going to click it. You must have a cookie banner. For this in particular, I don't even care. Yeah, there's just, it'd just be such a blank, like boring site, and no one's probably going to go to it. And it's just so that if people did go to it, they're like, okay, this is the name of the company. Yeah, this is fine. So yeah, if I were making anything otherwise, I would definitely do that. I think Adam Learns works that way. I could have sworn we had one. Maybe it's only when you're logged in. I don't know. I'm getting rid of that site too. So that hardly matters. This has been churning for a while. And I read online actually just this morning that like people's plans are going through their quota faster. It certainly seems that way from what I've seen so far in this very limited amount of time. But like I said, if they just allow buying banked resets, I don't really care. They don't have that yet. Chili, thanks for pointing this out. I'm going to give you a point. What is on my Twitch about panels at this point? Made this and this, and now I'm working on this. If you're curious about practically anything, there's a list of commands. Discord, Autonomous Games, Adam Learns, YouTube. Yeah, it was all fine. I don't really have anything in those panels. I don't know who cares about them. All right, anything else on this list still? Autonomous.com. And do I have... I don't. Okay, let's go make a quick Espanso shortcut for this. Oh, that was weird. All right, so duplicate that. Just do xcom, xtonomous. And maybe we add a trigger for xtonomous. All right, good. So now when we type this, xcom, nice. And this should resolve, but I don't know what it's going to do. Yeah, I never set up a site here. I just bought the domain. Also, I bought it for 5 years, which I never do. But I was like, what are the odds that I stop doing something in game dev in 2 years? Practically zero. I mean, of course, something like I could, whatever, get in a car accident and be in a hospital the rest of my life. But, you know, short of something like that, like what are the odds that realistically they're practically zero? And then after I'm done with this next game, even if I stopped game development, I probably still want to have xtonomous.com online. And I don't think I'd stop game development. Okay, I still don't have any great ideas for the tiny sword set. Need to prototype the card game idea. 2.2 playthroughs, figure out the average play time. And some other things we have written down here. Okay, cool. Yeah. Is this done? It is done. Oh, this is not how I pictured this working at all. And it also took quite a lot of quota for that. All right, so let's say we start the game and we're playing with this character graphic. So red hair, blue skin. We go to the farming game and we speed this up. There is nothing because I'm not on the right branch. The joys of work trees. All right, now let's try again. Yeah. Yeah, we should change this. For sure. Yeah, we definitely need the same background. In fact, we could actually put it to the... We could put it in the same panel as this. I was thinking of putting it to the side. But also I was having it... I was going to have it be zoomed in. Yeah, it's working. It just looks bad. What about the bed? Yeah, I gotta change a lot of stuff. Yeah, so this is what I expected more when it came to the portraits. Like, this just looks like how the portrait should be. This is perfect, in fact. Let me just put a little border around this. Alright, so let's go into town. Talk to these NPCs. Yeah, that's all fine. Yeah, good. Alright, blah, blah, blah. Quit out of this. Oh, wait, this won't do anything. Gotta change to here. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Could be staring directly at the camera. Yeah, we could do that. Before I write that down and get out of this mode, though, let me take a look at these and make sure this is good. This one's facing downward. Yeah, it shouldn't be. Okay, so changes we have to make. The loot box's portrait faces down. It should face to the right. Almost every portrait needs to be zoomed in on the face. The portraits need the same panel container style as the name. All right, let's go to the final game here. Yeah. Yeah, but otherwise, it looks pretty good. All right, so let's go make those changes. Portraits. All right, changes. Let's just copy paste these. Loot box's portrait faces down. It should face to the right. Almost every portrait needs to be zoomed in on the face, not use the entire sprite. The portrait for your conscience is how they should all look. And then the portrait and then that particular portrait should be zoomed in even more. Portraits need the same panel container style as the name. They'll be in two separate panels, but the theming should be identical. And the portrait container should be... It's 80 by 80 right now. I think that's too big. Dialogue UI. Layout 80 by 80. Yeah. I think it's a little too much. But the best example that we have of where it looks kind of closest to what it should is in here is this one, right? No, wait, what? Oh, because I depleted my energy? Okay, that's too bad. So we just need to do this. Yeah, is that too big? I think it's too big. I think this is the right size. So however large that is, and we make that a square. So it is... It's about 180. So 60. Yeah, 60 pixels. conscience should use the facing down sprite sheet, not facing right. All right, there we go. I messed up the italics on it even more. I'm sure it'll figure it out. Yeah. All right, so pretty much all this stuff is done, right? Yeah. So we can delete it from tomorrow's list. So it's pretty much just looking into automated game tests. Maybe do some more game design. Maybe do some more game design. We Devin a little bit. Hey, Matt. We're adding portraits to the speakers in the game so that it's clear who's talking when. But yeah, the bulk of what's been on my mind has been the website stuff, Steam. I gotta work on that today. I gotta just get through this list. What are we at in terms of character count? 32,000. Had this bug on my backlog for months now. Keep kicking it down the road because it's a weird bug in a mini game I didn't write code for. Last night I was sitting here and thought about AI can find it, and it did. Even worked with it to refine a regression test. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty fantastic when that happens, especially because like these are the kinds of tasks you probably don't really look forward to. And sure, there might be some fun in it, but you're finding the fun because you have to, otherwise you'll go insane, as opposed to because you want to. So just having it be off your plate is pretty nice. Illusionary Moon. I feel this way about a lot of different dev tasks. Like this one in particular, adding portraits to the UI. I don't want to do this. Yeah. I don't think it would have been that bad, but like my total time involved so far has been what, like 5 minutes, and it's probably already almost done. Then we just need to review it. Staying away from other job responsibilities, especially on a small team, especially when it wasn't you who did it in the first place, right? It's like you're fixing someone else's bug. It's like, why didn't they just fix their own bug? Yeah. Now, I don't expect AI to get the specific portrait slicing correct. That's okay. I can change that myself. Oh, they don't work there anymore. Okay. Well, why don't they get rehired for this task and then fired immediately? Yeah. I can't think of what else I could start now in the like 3 minutes it's still going to take me to finish this. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I want to just finish this up and then probably call it for today. Saw the Chrome extension, pretty snazzy. It's nice. It's exactly what I wanted. I wanted all this to be dark. I didn't want it to like change colors when it doesn't have the focus. So this is perfect. Yeah. Been on the same theme forever. Yeah. It had been, I think I had the date in here. No, I didn't. Okay. Well, anyway, it was a very, very long time. Yeah, I finally updated it. All right, is this almost done? It looks like it should be done very soon. Yeah, let's just load it. It's not technically done, but it's probably not gonna, oh, no, it's done now. Oh, cool. It showed a little picture. I'm not sure I like that. Why not Bing anymore? I think Bing has gone way downhill. Like it used to be, and you can't exactly quantify this, but if Google was like 90% of the quality I wanted, then Bing back then was like 75% of the quality I wanted. So yeah, you do some searches and most of the time it's fine. But every once in a while I'd go to Google and like redo a search. Now I just think internet search has gotten kind of bad overall, and that like AI helps sift through things. So I was like repeating every Bing search that I was doing. Can they just add an update? And the very same features the extension you just viewed with the vertical tabs? The extension I viewed? I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah, vertical tabs are added natively. This is not through an extension. The thing that I did is I added a theme to make it so that everything is super dark, but I can still see what is selected over here. There's a theme on the Chrome store that makes everything totally black, and then you can't tell what tab is even selected because even that's black. So this way I can tell very clearly, like, oh, my to-do list is selected, or like this tab or this tab, which is important for when I want to go to the next tab or the prior tab, that I know which direction to go in. Bing is less bad. Yeah, I did not have that experience. I still log in and get my like Bing points. I finally, I'll show you this stupid thing. It happened like a few days ago. I finally got the achievement for 999 days. And yeah, you can see the 1 year mark was in 2023. Then I lost the streak somehow. So I needed to get this by restarting it. So yeah, that's it. I wanted to get to that and then just stop using it as a search engine, but I stopped actually before that and just logged in for these things. Oh, no, just the theme, yeah. Hey, Lagwin. I don't know if I've Googled anything now that AI exists, unless I'm just trying to get the company name. Yeah, honestly, even for what I was doing earlier, I searched for something like apply impulse, Godot, way to frame, something like that. And yeah, this is probably the same issue that I had, but this is just a Reddit post with no responses, and they never posted an update. So like, I could probably respond. I mean, it's 2 years ago. I'm not going to respond now, but I could probably respond to them and told them the answer. But like, AI perfectly found my problem and the solution, and it was in the documentation. So it's like, yeah, that search term doesn't pull it up, but it'd be nice if it had. All right. Anyway, we launched this. I didn't actually do anything yet. Let's go do something. Yeah, so what I want is for there to be no margin here, I think. I think it would look a lot better. Yeah, I think it would look a lot better. But that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Wait, the content margin is, oh man. All right, I might need to change this a bit. But in general, at least like, hey, we got something here. This is definitely better than nothing. It's just staring you in the face. I like that actually. I think it's pretty good. All right, what if we go talk to the bed? Bed. I wanted to be zoomed in on the pillow. Yeah. And then what? We go into these other games. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. What about here? Yeah, like it. What about here? Yeah, this should just be their face. Actually, you know what should probably be? Maybe their standby animation? I'm not sure. We could also use the portrait that's there in the background. This one. But yeah, their standby animation where she takes her hood off there. That could also work. That way you get to see the hair color that you customized. But it doesn't really matter too much as long as you can tell that it's you. Maybe for that one you should be facing forward. Maybe for all of them you should be facing forward. Yeah, is that better? Now that I think about this. Like even in this dialogue, take a look. The tutorial man's facing left. Would it be better if they just face downward and player faces downward? I think we had them both on the screen at the same time. Having them face each other would be good, but otherwise, I don't know. I don't really, yeah, I don't care too much. Okay. All right, so portrait panel and then the portrait itself. There is white space around the portrait that I don't want there. Yeah, so there's margin all around the portrait inside its panel. I'd like to cut out as much of that margin as possible without violating, I'm guessing, this thing's content margin. Content margin is -1. What? Add a texture rectangle in here and give it just anything. It doesn't matter what. I don't know, one of these. Yeah. That was not what I meant to do. Oh, man. All right, quick load. Sure, an item. All right, so 0, 0, 16, 16. Doesn't it say right in the atlas these are 16 by 16? They don't start at 0, 0, though? Where do they start? 8 by 8? Sure. Keep aspect. Is it because it's getting sized up to 60 by 60? Yeah. So I should not do this. Yeah, I should not do this. Let's delete this. And let's just go find the new portrait data. Speaker data. Here it is. All right, so you guys figure out any of these. Yeah, like farming player. Where'd that go? Here. 7, 65, 18, 18. Okay, so atlas texture. Should I duplicate this first? I want to do that. Lyria, idle, 7, 65, 18, 18. Yeah, so what's causing this to not be aligned at the bottom? Because it's centered. Ah, I see. So we would need to move the entire thing a little bit, which we can't do because it's inside of a panel. There's an offset you can set though, right? No, you can't. You can set this. Yeah, so like this is kind of what I was thinking, I guess. But then it might look weird when it gets to the left side if there's ever too much there. No, I think that could work. Yeah, I think that could work. And then we zoom in even more, I guess. So instead of this being 18 by 18, it's like 16 by 18. Yeah, we got to customize this then. This is probably going to be a pain. That's pretty decent though. I set this to 16 too. Ignore size, fit width, scale. I think it should just be set to ignore size. I kind of want it to take up more space here though. I think we need to. I don't know what we're supposed to do. Keep aspect. So if I shrink this to like 8 by 8, this gets very messed up. Oh man. All right. Yeah, I don't know what we're supposed to do for this. I also probably have already saved something in there that I did not want to save. Yeah, I did. I like to cut out as much of that margin as possible. The portraits should be at the bottommost pixel above the black border of that panel container. Okay, well, I think that's it for today. Yeah, I have a bunch of tasks I need to do in the afternoon. I want to go get lunch. It's hard to promise a full stream day tomorrow. I feel I've just been out of streaming or out of that mentality for this week, and I think it was just starting off on the wrong foot on Sunday. I worked basically an entire day on Sunday, and I just don't feel like I got enough weekend, and I feel like I've been paying that price ever since. But I want to at least stream tomorrow morning. So I'll just write this down. If I'm not feeling it or not making progress, then just stream for the morning. It sounds exhausting. Well, it's just everything has changed a lot with AI. And also we're in this stabilization mode that we're kind of almost done with. So like, should I start working on a new game? Alternatively, I could start working on a new game. I think it's best to put the extra time into game design though. Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna get going. I will go find somebody to raid. Let's go raid Kipoga. He's doing scam baiting. He is a good streamer. All right, raid Kipoga. Yeah, thanks all for being here. I will see you tomorrow. I should at least stream in the morning. So yeah, take care. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. See you next time.